Hey, kiddos! Time for the daily bread. Today, Joseph and the king will be, or I should say, Pharaoh will be interacting. So let's hear today's tract. Daily Tract 857, Genesis chapter 47, verse 7 through 10. After this, Joseph brought his father to the king, and he stood him in his sight. He blessed him, and he questioned him, "How many are the days of the years of your life?" He responded, "The days of my sojourn are 130 years, few and unworthy, and they do not reach even to the days of the sojourning of my fathers." And blessing the king, he went outside. Kids, so here we have a fairly quick interaction between the Pharaoh and Jacob. The king and Jacob, they bless each other. Both of them bless each other. But interestingly, the Pharaoh is interested in how old Jacob is. And of course, Jacob feels like he's really old, but he points out that he's not even close to as old as, his fathers, his grandfathers, right? Because we remember since the beginning of history with Adam lived to be 900 years old. And many after that lived close to that, right? Hundreds of years old. And even Noah was 900 and some years old. So we see Jacob is very aware that he's aging quicker than his forefathers, which is interesting from the fact that we have to remember that Genesis is history. It's not like sometimes when we think of the Bible, we think of the Bible is telling us what to do, and that's a lot of the reason people don't like it, is because they feel like they don't want to be told what to do, right? They want to think what they want to think. And honestly, with Genesis, it's just an account of history. Like, there's nothing in Genesis that says, live this way necessarily. It gives you a lot of ways that people lived from the beginning of time through that period, right? It talks about how people lived, and it talked about judgments that God gave to those, right, when we had the flood and whatnot. And it talked about the history of the people. And here we see Jacob being very aware of that history, which I also think is very interesting, because it validates that it's in a historical account, right? So Jacob was aware that his forefathers lived much longer than him. And so we're going to see what happens here tomorrow. Now that Jacob has met Pharaoh, they've kind of went their separate ways. We'll see what ends up happening from here. God bless. I love you.